Okay, now we are recording.
Um,
And just to start, we will love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your journey and why are you working on Celestia, and
yeah,
a little bit about Celestia too for the people that
that's
will
a good
will listen
question.
to this later.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you all for being at the Hacker House in Costa Rica. Sorry I couldn't make it, but it's really, really cool to see all the hacker houses around the world right now. And I'm stoked to see what you all build. So I guess a little bit about me. The last thing I did before I kind of went down the developer route was working as a line cook at a restaurant. I had pretty much stopped going to university after a few years of mechanical engineering, switching to business school, and just kind of like figuring my life out as a young adult. I ended up cooking for about 2.5 years um, before realizing I probably wanted to go back to school to finish my degree up and then get a, real job. So that's kind of like the high level overview is I was finishing school up after quitting restaurants for good. And I found something called Developer DAO. And this was during the 2021 kind of like NFT craze where NFTs were the big thing. They were like bigger than meme coins are right now, it seemed. Um, and I saw this one artist. I guess what really got me hooked, this one artist who was selling his artwork to get out of some legal troubles that he did because of making the artwork. So he would climb up buildings, take cool pictures on top of them. His name's Drifter Shoots on Twitter. But I remember reading this New York Times article where he was talking about how he basically like turned his life around by using this thing that was Ethereum. And at the time, I only knew blockchains as I knew of Bitcoin. I didn't know anything else about blockchains generally. And this like programmability and smart contract side of it was something that was new to me. So that's really what got me hooked on it. I'm gonna try and like speed this up a little bit, but basically, smart contracts are really cool to me. NFTs were neat, but the underlying thing that was like fascinated me was digital ownership and this idea that on blockchains you can create applications that are unstoppable, that are censorship resistant, all the buzzwords, but like really just like a new way to build things. So yeah, I guess like from there, I worked at Anchor and KR, which is like an Alchemy and Fira kind of company where we were providing RPC endpoints. I guess like I kind of got to the point where didn't really feel like I was learning as much there anymore. I just started to look for new opportunities, and that's kind of how I found myself with Celestia. So it's been a few years now, like almost I guess 2.5, coming up on 2.5 years. And since then, I've been focused basically strictly on unstoppable applications that are verifiable. Uh, Started out really with like rollups being the thing that we're focused on. And the idea that really was like exciting to me about Celestia was that anyone or anything, like maybe a store, a restaurant, Rappi, for example, like could be on chain. And yeah, that's kind of like how I got to this point. I guess like outside of work, I like to do a lot of yoga. I like to go hiking, go on walks in the city. So I am a human, I think, at the end of the day too. But yeah, hopefully I didn't ramble too long there. I guess if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them.
Thank
But
you.
if you got anything
Well,
out of that, I didn't have a normal path to get here, and I hope if anything that might inspire you to go out on a limb and try to build something in public yourself.
normal is boring, right? So
Yeah, pretty
thank
much.
you
It
very
was like a
much. Thank
very
you for your
squiggly path, but I got there. So yeah.
fantastic. So the people here is starting on that path. Some of them are studying, some of them are already working. I'm going to let the mic open. I know they have some questions, and we also have some questions here from other teams that are not here.
Cool.
But please, who is going to start with questions? Who wants to start?
Also, thank you everyone who's tuned in
Yeah.
online. It's good to see you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone that is connected. Wants to start? Luis, please introduce yourself and the project that you're building. So,
Hi, Josh. Can you hear me?
Hola, yes. See.
But, my name is Luis. I'm not starting that job, the path that Cara was saying. I'm actually in my middle age crisis, so
Yeah.
I'm restarting the path, right? So actually, this is my first hackathon. I'm building a game actually with my
Cool.
son.
Oh, awesome.
He's the one that is starting the path. And we actually start similar to you in 2021 with NFTs, and we have a gaming guild back then, right?
Oh,
As you
awesome.
knew, the ownership was everything, right?
Yeah, that was
For
it.
gamers,
I was like, this is the
that was.
coolest thing ever.
I agree, totally agree. So our project is the track for Capsule, right? They want to do
Mhm.
an arcade game. They said to do a Tetris. We say no. We say we want to do a little bit something more, right?
Yeah.
More real game, and they
Tetris is
agree.
good though, you know?
I love it. No, I love it.
What are you doing
But
better than
ChatGPT
Tetris?
Yes, but ChatGPT can do it, so we want to do a little bit more complex than that. My son, what he does is actually a game designer, and he do pixel art. So what we're going to do is a platform game. But we're taking this advantage with my teammate, Olger Hernandez, that is also online. He's the one doing the crypto side. I'm doing the design on Unity, and my son is doing the art, right? So pretty much that's what
Awesome.
we're doing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, Sammy was able to show me the Flappy Bird clone that you did, right?
Yeah.
So we were watching that one, and we have a couple of questions because the track is from Capsule, right?
Yeah.
And Capsule create very easy wallets. You were using the Nightly wallet. Capsule have something similar, right? They create their wallet by their own on web,
Yep.
but we're developing in Unity because that's the language, well, the game engine that we know, right?
Yeah, that's good.
And there's no integration with Capsule, right? So the one that integrated is Argus. That is another sponsor, another track
Yep.
that they want to do pretty much a Tamagotchi. But there's another Costa Rican team that is doing the Tamagotchi as well. My question
Uh-oh.
to you,
Competition.
yeah, that I'm fine with that. As long as we win in Costa Rica, we're fine. We don't care about that. My question with you is because I saw the video that you did with movement.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, I saw that you use Nightly as a wallet, you use movement, and then save it in Celestia, right? In the clone that you did.
Yep.
So for this particular hackathon, do you think that is something feasible to use open sources in EVM and whatever is in Ethereum Foundation or whatever other tracks or like Argus or maybe the same smart contract that you use, as long that we save it in Celestia, that's valid? Or what will be your recommendation? Because I don't want to transform everything that we did already in Unity into
Yeah.
web, right? So we're working a couple of workarounds, right? That is just the validation online, and then
Yeah.
the saving of every you play the game, and we use it as a token gate to play the game. But we want for the results to be safe, similar to your game, right?
Mm.
The results will be safe, and based on that result, you will win an NFT. Because the idea that we want to prove is that interoperability from those NFTs that you win, that you can go to a second game, right? The second game is
Yep.
not part of the MVP, but that's the idea that you win the NFT and then you can go to another game with that. What will be your recommendation on how to do the
Yeah.
integration with Capsule?
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the ideas list. I need to refresh my memory. So for the capsule one, uh, well, I guess I want to preface with the demo that I made doesn't actually like fit into any of the boxes, I don't think. So like if you couldn't like take it and use it on one of the bounties, so it's maybe not the best example. I guess if that helps paint the picture, like it wasn't one of the ideas.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to understand for Capsule, they have the Telegram trading agent
That,
idea, but there's another one,
that
I guess.
that is correct. They have two. They have the Telegram
Okay,
AI
the
and
arcade game.
the arcade game. Correct.
Um,
That's the one that we're doing.
and then you said Argus is the basically like the backup for that.
No, Argus is a different track. They have it
Yeah.
as well for a Tamagotchi. The thing is, when I saw the tutorial that they had, both of them are very good companies or good training that they did. but Argus have the integration directly with Unity. So that's the one that we kind of want to use Argus, but to
Oh,
connect to Capsule Wallet. That's pretty much how we can break that or how we can do that integration.
I see.
Capsule team told me as long that we use their wallets, they're fine, right? Because that's pretty
Yeah.
much the one that they want to do. What we are investigating, we found some smart contracts, but on Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
So what we were saying is, can we use the EVM smart contracts and bring it into Celestia just as a backend, right, for repository, and then we save it there? Will that be valid for the hackathon, or what will be your
Yeah.
recommendation, pretty
So
much?
I think I'm starting to understand a little better, like what the actual problem is now. It sounds
Is
like you want to do the like Capsule arcade game, right?
That's correct.
But Capsule doesn't integrate with Unity, so that's a
Correct.
problem. Um,
Yep.
and you're basically just asking if you can use like the Argus
Open
like
source.
model
Yeah,
instead.
any open source. Yeah,
Yeah,
any other
so
open source.
I'd almost recommend, so like one thing we're kind of trying to avoid here is people like stacking up like multiple bounties on top of each other, or like ideas
I
on
know.
top of each other, and it just kind of getting yeah, to the point where people are just like hunting for like, to stack things on top of each other. But
Yeah, we're not hunting. We're
no,
trying
no,
to
you're
solve the
good. I'm trying to
issue.
understand like
Yeah.
could you build like what you want to build with Argus and do the Tamagotchi, or is that like too far from what you really want to
It's
do?
it's far. Our game, which we already have around 60% of the game in this week,
Yeah.
is similar to Mario. Picture Mario Bros. In Nintendo, right? No,
Yeah.
no, not the
Nice.
current ones, right?
Yeah.
A basic pixel art, but we already have it work. We're already building the levels, but we already have the skeleton. So the one that we were thinking is the workaround have everything in Web3 as a web base, and then Unity just as embedded into the web page, right? And that will work. But what we want to see is the validation of the NFT. So it's just like that. We have three possibilities, right? But I want to see your insights. What will be more useful for the Mammothon, right? It's
Yeah.
more like we can solve it, but what is legal? No, what is
Yeah.
accepted? Right?
So I guess it looks like if you did the Argus one, it seems like Tamagotchi is like pretty much required. Um,
Exactly. That's why we're not doing it.
so I
And
guess yeah, like
we ask, and they said they want a Tamagotchi.
yeah, so is there any way where you might compromise on Unity, or are you really set on doing Unity? I feel like maybe the best option is to still use Unity and just kind of hack something that works to feed the score from Unity maybe into like a browser or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
So our idea of token gate, it makes sense for you. The
yeah.
Don't do everything in Web3. Just make the validation and save the results to get the NFT as a prize, so you can use it in the second game. That will be enough to satisfy the challenge, right?
Yes,
Is
I mean, I think maybe if you're like you might be able to hit more of the I'm looking at the like the notion from Encode where it says the idea, and it
Sure.
says it wants to like use the gasless transactions and
Yep.
not having to set a wallet up. I guess that would still be true. As long as you could claim the wallet
Yep.
and add it to the leaderboard, it should be good. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I guess this is
That
definitely
is fine.
something I don't want to be the last call here. I would love for you to ask
I,
the
I,
capsule team.
I will not ask. Yeah, that is fine. I was not asking you as a judge. It's more like a developer peer,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
I'm trying
It
to
was
think
more like
like
how do you work it out?
I
But
don't
it's
know.
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry, Josh. We're going to ask directly Capsule team to see what they recommend. The request was do the wallet. That's the one. After
Yeah.
that, we're free to do whatever we want. So I think this option or workaround, it could
I
work
think
with them.
so. Yeah, I think so
So
too. As
I'm going
long
to
as it
let the
uses
rest
it.
of the teams. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say as
Thank
long
you
as
for
it
your time.
uses it. Oh, you're welcome. It's nice to meet you.
Okay. Yeah, nice to meet you. And I like your Flappy Bird Mammoth. It
Oh,
was
thank
fine.
you. Thank you. I look forward to seeing your
Thank you,
project.
Luis. Thank you, Liz. We have another question here. If someone here has another question, let me know. I'm going to read one of the questions from the people that is not in the room. They are working on the streaming platform, one of the challenges. And they
Nice.
have two questions. How will the implementation of NFTs with Rust based on Celestia be? That's one.
With Rust?
And with Rust, yeah.
Huh.
Is there anyone from the team here? No, right? That was one of the questions that they put on the chat. And the other one is, what regulations or restrictions should be considered when publishing videos on a streaming platform?
Oh,
Are there
it's a good
specific
question.
regulations? That's a great
Jeez,
question for
that's a crazy
for
question.
life.
I bet I don't think
Are,
they thought of that. Oh man. Oh no.
are, are there specific regulations depending on the region or type of content?
Oh boy. All right, let's get the first question first. It was
You
how
can skip the other one.
oh no, it's okay. We'll do the second one too. I would say, well, actually, you know what? For like in terms of what type of video content, I don't really know how you would gate that without something like an AI that would maybe like do a check before it gets uploaded to make sure it doesn't, break any laws basically. Um, that might be a naive way to look at it. And maybe you have to require like the user basically like put the burden on the user where they like say that this video is not X, Y, or Z. And I don't know the specifics of this. So yeah, that's actually a really good question. Um, what's up, one?
And
Oh,
the other
I'll get
question
to that one after.
relate,
Yeah. So can you ask the
yeah, and
Rust question again?
yeah. Um, it says, how will the implementation of NFTs with Rust based on Celestia? How can we implement NFTs with Rust based on Celestia?
Oh, so like a based NFT. Oh, interesting. Is this like a question for a specific idea? Because I don't know if there's really an idea that would like suit this. It is a great like thing that it would be cool if it
Juan Di,
exists.
I
Yeah.
think we have people from the team in the chat in Zoom. Juan Di, if you want to open your mic and ask the question directly, will be fantastic.
Hi. Do you
Hey,
hear me?
I got you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Our question is like we want to implement, we were searching and Celestia is like a bridge in some parts in using the NFTs, but we have this question because we can use the creation of the NFTs and everything using Cosmo Wasm, I think is the name.
Yeah.
It Cosmo Wasm and it's implemented with Rust. So our question is for you is how we can implement the technologies to use or create the video NFT like using a contract like in Ethereum the RC 7021 or something like that, or could be like any contract implemented in Celestia something like that, or should be based in normally Ethereum a contract normally. I don't know if you can hear me right
Yeah,
or
I can. I'm just I'm trying to
yeah,
like I guess you're aiming for the video decks, right?
yeah, video NFT decks.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it looks like this is from my understanding an EVM. So I don't think you would really, unless I'm missing something about the abundance stack, the ABC stack.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's an EVM. So I don't think you'd really be able to use Cosmosm. Um, but that being said, I feel like the tooling for Ethereum, like ERC 721s and 1155s, is better than what you find for Cosmosm.
So we can
So yeah, I don't think you can use
sorry,
Cosmosm on this.
sorry.
Just looking at the bounty,
I
yeah.
have read internet.
Can you hear me? Oh, he cut out.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I
I
think
have bad internet, but
It's all
yeah, for
good.
sure. So
So
yeah, it's a
TLDR,
good
I think you have to use EVM for this, which means you can't use
for
Cosmosm.
contracts. So solidity then in this
Yeah,
case.
yeah. Yep.
Okay, and I have okay, sure, sure. Thank you for the information. And I
You're
one of
welcome.
my teammates have this question that
Mhm.
this is recommended to upload all the metadata of an NFT in one block because Mammothon tell us to go bigger. So we what about if we upload like 4K 1M video? Should be that video be divided or should be equal together?
So I think it would be really cool if we could all upload 4K videos to Celestia, but unfortunately, I think that would take a lot of blocks right now. So I guess like also it's a little bit. I think would like I don't think it would like miss the bounty, but I think the idea of this is to build it like on top of that stack and use the ABC stack as the execution environment, where basically the things that are getting posted to Celestia are just the blocks from the rollup. Um, so where am I going with this? I have to pull the question back up, sorry. So yeah, like in theory, you could post the data to Celestia, but I think if you're doing videos, it would be like a pretty big pain to chunk up a video and post it across a bunch of blocks because you'd have to like a 1 minute video, for example, is like maybe even like a 1080 1 minute video, I think is like 500 megabytes or something. So like optimistically, maybe you could fit that in over like a long period of time, like yeah, a few hundred blocks or something, if my mental math is right. And yeah, I'd actually just recommend for now, until we reach that pie in the sky goal of like 1 gigabyte blocks, I think it's a good idea to probably post those videos to something like IPFS or Arweave. Um, and honestly, I think the integrations for that, so basically like using the things that are built into Gelato to do that is going to be easier than posting videos to Celestia. That was a really long answer to just say probably best to post it somewhere else.
To
And
say, don't do that, please.
yeah, I mean, you could. You won't get far though, I don't think.
Don't do that.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
the
Josh.
TLDR.
We have another question from the people online. Jose,
Jose?
right?
Yeah.
Please go.
Hello there. Yeah, no, so I was the one who created that question, so maybe I could give a little bit of
Oh, word.
further explanation onto that. So I'm very glad that you enjoyed the joke that Mammothon tells to go bigger, so
Yeah.
4K. But so my question is regarding this, it's maybe not uploading the video itself, but like the metadata, like minting a video, depending on like the length and the quality and some other things that we're planning on doing, it might be like a big thing. So you'll tell us to go bigger, but how big is big, or how is it supposed to be handled? So should all of the data go into one block, or would it be faster to have like some information separated like on one block, and then the other one, like the metadata itself, on another one? Or because it's a video platform in the end, there could be
Yeah.
pictures, but if you're handling videos, we do have like certain objectives to start small and then start going bigger, but um, the objective is to find some use case for this, and we do have like some uh, proposals, but we first want to understand how big is big, how big is
Yeah.
the mammothon that we are trying to catch.
Yeah.
So
No, I love it.
that's it.
I guess like I just I don't think it's so metadata maybe you could post to Celestia, but the thing is like if that's gonna already live on the rollup itself, I don't know that there's like so much value in also posting it to Celestia. But if you wanted to, you could, and then maybe your front end or something like make sure that it's also posted to Celestia to make sure that the metadata is there. But you probably like want to have this all live in the same place in the execution environment so that you don't have to be doing using Celestia in two different ways, basically. Is that helping though? Because
No,
I,
no,
I think,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess like the big thing is I don't think you're gonna want to post the videos, obviously, but so if you post the videos somewhere else, you're gonna need the metadata for the video to be able to point to that video on the ABC rollup.
Mhm.
Um, the blocks are basically just gonna get bundled and published to Celestia. So like, I don't know. Did I help answer that?
It's right. I think the objective was to understand a little bit how things are connected, because there's like
No.
a couple of things for this one. It's Gelato plus Abundance plus Celestia plus handling
Yeah.
videos plus IPFS. So there's a couple of things, and we just we're wondering how things would connect, and we think we have like an idea of the infrastructure, and from there, this question arise like, is
Yeah.
this information going to be the one stored on Celestia, or what exactly would be,
Yeah.
or do we not really have to worry about that, and let's say Gelato or Abundance already have like a Celestia button that I just click on it, enable it, and then Celestia is doing all the work for us, or
Yeah. So basically, like the blocks will be published to Celestia.
Mhm.
And all of the things that touch the NFT decks are going to be on Gelato or like on ABC, the roll up.
Mhm.
And um, all of that metadata that's on the roll up is just going to point to the file on IPFS basically. So yeah, I would say that you really need to focus on the application and like the execution environment here, and like you really don't need to worry about Celestia too much actually, and that's kind of the beauty of it. It's just
Okay,
kind of there. It's being posted every block, and you can
nice.
probably trust that that happens with the rollup, the ABC rollup stack itself. That being said, if you have like more questions as you guys are or your team is going through this, please feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, and that goes for anyone as well. I might not be able to answer it though. Like, I'd also be happy to make sure y'all are in touch with the right idea partners and mentors and stuff.
Thank you so much. Gracias, José Pablo. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have more questions here in the room. Johnny?
Hello, man. I'm
Hello.
Jonathan. I'm trying to build a game with Dojo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know mm, anything about that, because we are waiting like for the Saya stuff. So as I understand, we need to use Saya to post to Celestia. So I don't know if that's ready or not. Do you know anything about that?
Saya, can you spell that, please? Just so I'm
Saya.
Saya. I have never heard of Saya. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry to not be helpful there. Um, I I guess.
It's like a tool to prove the blocks that comes from Starnet. So
Oh,
you will like you will like send those blobs to Celestia, or at
okay.
least that's the plan. Yeah.
This is literally the first time I've heard this. I'm sorry that I'm not more helpful. I
Sure,
guess
sure,
is
no
the
worries.
even though that they're working on that, is the Dojo team like do you still have enough to work on the game itself? Or is that blocking you?
Yeah, that is blocking us because, well, actually, the two ideas for games are like very simple. It's
Yeah,
just like do an 8 by 8 grid,
yeah,
and it's like a game of conquest each tile.
yeah,
So it's very simple. I mean, from the contract side, it's almost done. We're just working on the
nice.
interface.
Yeah.
However, that part, yeah, it's blocking us because we don't know how to send the data to Celestia right now.
Okay. I personally have not used Dojo. I know that that team has like been very responsive though. Um, so yeah, I'd like to do what I can to help you just like get this in front of them so that they know it's blocking. And
Sure,
hopefully help
sure,
you
yeah.
get you an answer there. Yeah, but I actually don't know. I can't believe it. I'm embarrassed. Never heard of it
No
once.
worries. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, Josh. I'm
Hey,
Santiago, and I
nice
am
to meet
from
you,
the Hypo
Santiago.
team. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Okay.
nice to meet you.
Um, um, we want to build a True Clone app, and well, we wanted to do some cool stuff with the governance. So we wanted to implement like some sort of DAO, and we wanted to launch like our own governance and also well our own token. And we wanted to see if it would be like a great fit to use it with EVM, or if you have like I don't know, any technology to launch like a token for governance in Celestia. Uh, I have more questions, but let's start with
Yeah,
that.
I'll start with that one. I feel like it's like a trick question. You can't have a smart contract on Celestia unless you have a roll up or like some execution environment that you're building on top of there. So in this case, the way that I understand it, Chopin would be that's basically the execution environment in the sense that it's the way that you're going to be posting and retrieving things from Celestia. Um, as far as like adding tokenization and like smart contracts to that, I would ask LZRS about that because I don't really think that that's, I guess, like maybe the real goal behind Chopin, but I might be wrong. Like there may be some way that this could be done. Um, yeah, because it looks like the tech stack is Chopin framework, Celestia, Next.js, and SQL. So there's
Yes,
no
but
like no EVM or anything, but yeah,
it will be like something else that we're adding to our app, like apart from Chopin, because all
oh,
the
okay.
data structures and that kind of things are in Chopin.
Okay, so you're just saying like you would do the as is and then like add on top of it like this governance
Yeah.
and token voting and stuff like that. Yeah. I guess is the question like how would I do that? Or
Maybe like to have the implementation with Celestia, or it's okay if we just like launch the token in EVM and just like retrieve it from
yeah,
the
I
EVM.
guess I would say that it might be best if you do it on some EVM that might already exist on Celestia, for example, like Forma. Um, that being said, I would just double check like to make sure that that won't in it like I don't think it would because you would just be adding on like bonus features, but I would just double check with Chopin to make sure that they're cool with that. Um, yeah, hopefully that helps.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Um, Let me check because we have like a list.
Oh, good. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it was like by the same way. Um, they are asking in which network should we deploy the smart contract to be like the most efficient and the connection with Celestia. But I think the last response like
I would
answered
just
that.
go with Forma personally. It's just the most
Which one?
stable Forma chain. I can send you the
Oh,
like
I've never heard, but if you could say like the name or spell
yeah.
it. Just,
Yeah, I got you here. So this is wait, let me get you the docs actually.
okay.
So have you heard of Astria?
Hmm.
Ah, here we go. Okay. So this is actually another idea partner. I'm going to send it in the chat here. Um, but like if you wanted to add on an EVM to this project, I would say that Gonza, I'll get to you after this. This page takes you to the workshop that they did, but you can just find the. Oh, looks like these docs are under construction. I think Astria docs have. Um,
Astrio, like ASTREO.
Yeah, ASTRIA. I'll just send the doc site here, and then I'm gonna find you a better link in like 10 seconds.
Oh,
So they have a few networks, and you can use their test net. Like you don't have to deploy it to mainnet. That would be kind of silly in my opinion, at least for
okay.
developing it. So they have like 2 different test nets. I don't really know which one is the best to use. So I would, if you want to ask the Forma team, I think they are there in the chat in Discord. But yeah, this testnet is an EVM. You use TIA to like as the gas token, so I guess it kind of feels a little bit more like you're using Celestia. But yeah, I'd say that's the closest thing in like most developed EVM that you could use.
Okay, that's really fine. Thank you for your time, and yeah, it was really helpful.
You're welcome, and good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for the
You're
questions.
welcome.
Do we have more questions in the room? We have Gonzalo. Do you have a question? I know they're working on AI agents for trading. Gonzalo, are you there?
Yes. Actually, I
Which
put the
one?
question here in the chat.
Yeah,
If you had any suggestion for us.
Which AI agent are you doing? I'm looking, control Fing on the ideas list right now, and there's 3.
It's the one with the DEX, the one with the DEX, the one with gelato.
Word, that helps. Sweet. Oh wait, what?
Yeah, on the Abundance ABC stack.
What is the actual name of it? Oh,
The trading agents.
sorry. Did they change that?
It's like one of the bottoms.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, man. All right,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I guess. What do you have any more
Well,
concrete
not
questions?
a specific question, but
Yeah.
are you familiar with them? Like, or any suggestion you have done in the past, or anything we should pay special attention? Like maybe the agent should have any specific, let's say, strategy, or have you done anything similar in the past? Or if not, then any suggestion regarding the decks and similar.
Yeah. So, like, personally, I actually have not even. I haven't used like one of the trading AI powered agent things. I feel like there are some out there that exist, but like I also haven't even used like one of the Telegram wallets. I know those also are out there. So I don't think I actually have great advice for this. I guess when you started asking though, like let's say that I was using one of these things, like let's say you built this for the hackathon and I want to go to use it. If it doesn't have like if it executes trades like without me really approving it, like you say like can you do this for me, and it's like yes I can do it, but then like the network ends up basically returning something different and you get like rugged. That's like a situation where I could see like just make sure that it does the swap like correctly, but
We'll make that
or just
happen.
like make sure that like it asks for a confirmation of some sort so you don't
Right,
get like
right.
stuck with the bot just doing something. But
Okay,
I
okay.
actually don't really have, I don't think I have great advice here.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
very
you're
much.
welcome.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We'll keep on building then. Thank you. We're in the right
Yeah.
path. Hey.
Thank you, Gonzalo. Anyone else? Any other questions? Everyone here has been, Josh has been exploring the tech and exploring the partners and studying the documentation and also complaining about the documentation sometimes.
Hey, hell yeah.
and thinking on contributing to the documentation, right?
Yeah,
So maybe
make me
we can write
issues.
something. We can help. But everyone is exploring. I think they will have for sure more questions down the road. This is the first week, right? Anyone else?
I'm happy to also do this again. I forget how long exactly the Hacker House is going, but yeah.
We're going to be here until Sunday, and it was the idea was to have them here to to start warming up, getting feedback from mentors, getting feedback from other peers, and polishing the ideas. And then they will have the rest of the hackathon, the Mammothon, to keep building, right?
Nice.
Yeah, it will be fantastic to have another virtual connection with you, more maybe in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so people will have their projects more advanced. Luis, do you have
Yeah.
another question? Yes.
It's just a question that, based on what Carla just mentioned, how deep have to be our documentation for the for this Mammothon? Because, for example, in the game, do I only put the scripts, or I have to do all the game design document, or what will be the half? Because I read that we have to put our GitHub open for the judges to read everything that we have. I have
Yeah.
a Kanban there. So we put the Kanban open, we put the scripts open, and then we have to put also the game, or what exactly, how deep it have to be? Or it's only our readme and executing code? I don't know.
Yeah,
So
so I would say there's no real hard requirement here. I want to assume, or I want to let people like use their best judgment on this a little bit. And I guess I can't speak for all the judges either, but let's say for example, you build your game and it's awesome. Like by opening up the game, I don't even need to think about like what I'm doing. I don't have to question, oh, is this the right thing? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? So like in that case, if I were a judge and I went and played the game and it worked and I understood like, oh, this is what's going on, I probably don't need to go read too much docs about it. That being said, if you feel like it, like I think maybe explaining the architecture and how it's designed would be important to have in a README, for example. But yeah, I would say there's not really a hard requirement to like have a doc site or something like that. Like I would say that's almost overkill, but yeah, all I can really, I think the best advice I could give would be to use your best judgment. And if the product works itself, then maybe it shouldn't need to be too documented. Hopefully that helps.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it helps. And it was ChatGPT the one who going to do it, so no, don't worry.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
She will work it out. Thank you.
Make sure you cut it down though.
Sure.
Thank you, Josh. I'm going to add to that if you are usually getting to repos and suffering because the documentation sucks, you should be doing good documentation for your
Yes.
projects, right? So
Yeah.
we should strive for the best.
And
Please, I
definitely,
want good repos for Costa Rica.
thank you. And at least the very minimum, I should know how to run it on my own. Yeah.
So write good documentation, please. Thank you. Sammy, I don't know if you have any question, Mon. Anyone else here? Anyone that is online? No?
I didn't know
So,
Mon was there too. What's up?
Mon, any questions, any comments? At least say hello.
Hello. Hola. Oh, you're matching. I love it. It's good to see you.
Matching. Because they came to the tropics, but it's really cold here inside. Thank you, Josh, for your time. We really, really
Welcome.
appreciate it. The people here is going to be exploring everything is new to them in the Celestia ecosystem, so everyone is learning. And we will have more questions for sure in the future. Thank you so much because we're also happy to be representing Costa Rica, and we
Oh,
would
you're
love
welcome.
to
I'm sorry I
we
couldn't
would
make
love to
it.
have you here sometime. We
I
have a
know.
couple of events coming in the
Okay.
year. You can come. You should
Okay.
come.
Let's see. I might have to make a little trip out of it with my partner. Well, yeah.
Well. Costa Rica is good for health. Well,
Well,
thank you so much, everyone.
thank you again for
Thank
joining.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Josh.
And happy hacking and G Mammothon for all of you.
Keep building. Woo! Thank you.
Bye bye. Have a good night.